Good morning, I'm Johnie Hooker and I'm going to show you today how I make my whole grain bread, and this is like part one, it's just the starter. So this is how I do the starter. So I get my blender, which will probably change because I want to get a mill. Maybe this afternoon after work I'm going to nick down and grab a mill. So I'll just grab the ingredients out of here, which is spelt and barley, beans and lentils, millet and wheat. What you'll need is 30ml cup and a half cup. And what I do, I'm just showing you the whole gig, because then it gives us an idea of how easy and how I do it. And then I'll just put 30 mils of wheat, 30 mils of beans, any beans, except for soybeans. Never use soybeans, they're poison. 30 mils of spelt. Oh, while I've got that off, into your blender or into your mill, half a cup of wheat, half a cup of beans. You can see I've got white beans down there as well. You can mix them up, doesn't matter. And half a cup of spelt. And I put the lids on, put them away. I'm in a bit of a rush because I'm getting ready for work. So this is what I'll do before work, and sometimes I'll make it after work, so this is what you do after work. 30 mils of millet, 30 mils of lentils, 30 mils of barley, whatever it is. I'll put it up on the screen. And in here, half a cup of millet, half a cup of lentils, any colour, whatever turns you on. And half a cup of barley, whatever it is. And put them away. And for the bread, not the starter, but just the bread, I put a bit of silicon husk and a bit of flaxseed, gold or brown, it doesn't matter. Probably, I don't know, I just put that under half a cup, just under half a cup. And same with the psyllium husk. You don't have to put this in, but I find it makes it sort of a bit softer or something. All organic ingredients too, by the way. And then with this, I just put the lid on it and sit it over there until we make the bread, because I like grinding and then making it straight away. And then I just use this little grinder for now until I get my mill, which I might get, which I'll probably do a video on, just for the starter. It's going to make a bit of noise for a minute. this over the sink. Otherwise I'm going to mess everywhere. And just pour that straight in. And that comes to 170. So that's, what's that? 240. No. 340. So then you just pour the same amount, so 170, so another 170. Bit less, bit more, doesn't really matter. And I use a naughty silicone spatula just because it's good for scraping down the sides. And then mix it up really well. I'll probably do a video on making the starter at some stage, but if you're watching this, you'll probably know how to make it anyway. You just do this about 7 times. Same thing. And then you empty about 4/5 out and leave 1/5. And then put a fresh lot in. Do that every night and morning for, you know, whatever you want. 7 times. 7's a good number. And then it'll be really active and have lots of little guys in it. They're actually like little farty things. Little farty bugs that make it bubble up. And the more you feed them, the more they'll fart, and the more they'll bubble up your the more they'll bubble up your bread. And when I'm doing this part of the process, I like to wipe it down because when that dough that mix gets hard, it's hard to get off. So I just do that and it's nice and clean and you can see. Now, what I've found, when I started making my starters, I didn't have much success because I live in southern Australia in Victoria. It gets cold here, so it doesn't like bubble up. So I bought this. It's like a sleeve that you put around plant pots to make your plants grow. And it keeps things at about 24 degrees. So I bought one of these, and since I bought that, it was just made everything so much easier. And it works every time with 100% foolproof. So it keeps it nice and warm and it bubbles up. So you can see the line. I'll scrape it down again a bit. You know, it's almost level with the top. I'll put it there. So that's where it is, and it'll probably bubble up, I don't know, half of that, maybe, thereabouts. So then I'll just plug that in here. I've also got one of them mats on here when I cure my, have my bread curing. So I put it on here, and then that mat's 24 degree mat too. And then just cover it with a tea towel. It stays warm and cozy in there, and everything always just works really good. Then you just put a lid on there, turn that on, and when I get home tonight, I'll do step 2 of making the dough. So until then, catch ya. They're not devil horns, by the way. I just got a habit of doing that years ago. Peace out. Hey, Johnie Hooker's back. So part 2, making the dough. So our starter's been up here since, I don't know, this time this morning. I'll just unplug it and show you. So, I don't know if you can see it, but it's all bubbly and it's raised about, that much. So we just grab a bowl, grab a trusty spatula. I don't even measure this, I just chuck most of it in and just leave I probably put a bit more in, but just leave that much. Scrape down the sides. That's why I like these silicone spatulas for scraping the sides down, really good. Well, this is a good tip for paper towel. I looked everywhere for a nice paper towel holder and I couldn't find one that I liked, and they look ugly hanging around, paper towels. So I just stuck it in my cupboard. See? Just like, there it is. Put it in there, go like that. Boom, there it is. And it's next to the oven, doesn't even burn. I've done that for years and it's fine. And you don't see it, it's not ugly, it's just a little towel hanging out your cupboard. If you get anything out of this video, I think that's a damn good tip. I made it up myself. So now you can just put that back on there, the plate or lid, whatever, and put that back in the fridge. And I've never let it go more than a week. So I don't know how long this would last for, but it lasts at least 7 days. And then to that, two cups of water. Just throw it in. I might leave that there because I'll use it again. And then just swirl it around. Don't have to mix it, just swirl it around a bit. Now I'm just going to grind these. I don't even put the lid on because it, if you're using a grinder, which I'm not going to be for too much longer, if you put the lid on, it gets warm and sweats, and kind of, I don't know, I don't like it. So I just leave the lid off. That takes about 2.5 minutes. Oh, I'm doing that. I'll get some food there. stir until it sticks. One stick. One stick. That's around. That's nearly 2.5 minutes. I can't wait to get my grinder and just tip it all in. And then I use this, and then you just like chop through it. That's what I do anyway. I just like chop through it like this with the edge like that. Just chop through it. Until it's kind of all. Then once it starts getting lumpy and like drier in the middle, then you can start sort of folding it. Oops. Did that go back in? Whatever. And you can just like go like this. You can sort of see if there's any dry flour left, but it doesn't take long. And then just sort of fold it over each other a little bit. It's not like, it's not going to get all elastic like normal dough. And you're not going to have to do all that playing around with it like they do with other breads. This is simple. It's not like the doughs you see stretch out and they get all nice and stringy, and you know, it's not like that. And then once you've got it like that, I normally just go around it like this and sort of ball it up, get it into a ball. This first thing's not that important. You just got to make sure that it's, and see that it gets into a ball. And what I like to do is just pour a drop of water on it. And then goes all slippery. Get it underneath it, so when you come to get it out in a minute, in half an hour, it's easy to manage. So I'm probably playing around with it a bit too much now, but that's basically, you know, just get it into some sort of, you know, bally shape. And that's all nice and slippery and that. Now you don't have to touch it or get your hands dirty. On the next step, like slapping the baby's bum. And then yeah. So on the next step, I kind of do like to get my hands into it. But anyway, we'll come to the next step in. Oh, hang on, I'm not finished yet. So then I get a plate, put over the top of it, and then I turn on my heat mat if you're in a colder area, and I have a cake rack on the heat mat, because if you put that directly on the heat mat, it sort of gets the bottom a little bit crusty and sticks to the bottom. So I found that if I put it on there, it doesn't do that. So then I put it up there. This heat mat will be 24 degrees, remember? And then just put a tea towel over it. I don't know, just do that because it's cozy. And I'll be back in half an hour, or it doesn't really matter, you know, around half an hour or something like that. You can do this process a few times, but I found it not that necessary. I just do it once and then I knead it up, and then I'll show you in the next step. I'll be back. Hey, back. Okay, it's been about just under half an hour, 50 minutes or 45 minutes or something. And our dough, it just looks like that, flat a bit. So what we'll do now, with our spatchy, just go around it like this, because it sort of sticks to the bottom. Not sticks, but you know, it does stick actually. And just remove it off. I just like, oops. I just like to put a little drizzle of water on it. And then just start giving it a bit of a knead. So just turn it over and over a few times. Fold it in half, push down, fold it in half, push down, fold it in half, push down, fold it in half, push down. You don't have to do it much, it's probably even enough. Get the sleeve up, still in my work clothes. I've just had dinner quickly and stuff. And then I just tap it around a bit to get it all back together, because it has these, you know, this sort of thing going on. And so I just like to sort of roll it around the bowl and tap it until it's in, you know, there's no creases. I never taught any of this, it's just, I've just made it up myself. So it looks a lot different to the way other people make theirs, but this is what's worked for me, and I find it works, it's foolproof. It works good every time. And then just a little bit more water. If it starts getting sticky, like see, it's all over my hand. And then see how it goes all smooth. So then you can smooth it out. Sleeve. I should be in clean clothes, but I don't really care. and then flip it around and it's all nice and smooth. See, it skids around in the bowl. And then just get it into a bit of a, you know, like if you're going to freeform it, you can just leave it in a ball and leave it in this bowl and put it up there. And then if you're going to put it into you can put it into a Dutch oveny type thing or something like that and just have a freeform. But I like to put mine in a tin so it fits in the toaster easy. And the tins I've got are probably too big, but if I made double that amount, it would fill the big tins that I've got, or even that and a half. Probably do alright. But what I do now is I get those seeds I prepared earlier, put this water away, and it's good to rinse them off really quick because when that sticks on, when that dries on there, which it dries pretty quick, it's hard to get off. So it's always good to rinse everything straight away. That's why I do it all while I'm doing this, because I don't have to scrape it off later. So I'll get my tin ready over here. You don't need paper or to grease it or anything like that. And then, because this is in a nice sort of half alright shape, then you just like sprinkle all your, press them in. Press them in and then you can flip it around a bit. Press them in, flip it around. And then it doesn't stick to anything or your hands or anything after that. And you can just roll it around in there. And then that's it. So just pull it out, flop it in the tin. I'll show you, hang on. It's always good to have a good little organised kitchen for this sort of work too, because you need all this stuff going on. So that's it. So it's got a couple of inches or inch and a half each end, or 30 mil, whatever way you're looking at it. And then you just put something on top of it. Put it on the rack on the heat. Make sure it's turned on and it's warm. I'll just put a tea towel on. You can get tins with special lids and that'd be good too. So that's all I do. And how long really did it take to do those bits and pieces? And then I'll go to bed, get up in the morning. I'll probably get up at 4:35 or something. And I'll flick the camera back on and show you what I do when I'm baking it. Well, basically, I'll tell you this part. I just pull that out. I'll tell you this part now because I won't tell you that later. Pull that out, turn the oven on to 250, throw it in the oven with the lid on the top still, and it doesn't really matter, but I normally tend to leave the lid on it and take it off halfway through. So it takes an hour, and so I leave it on for half an hour and then take the lid off,
And then you can see what it looks like. Actually, no, I will put the camera on because I like to cut it, so I'll have to show you that. So anyway, we'll see you in the morning. I'm gonna go to bed soon. So, hang on, what's the time? 7. No, I've got a few things to do yet. So yeah, we'll see you in the morning. Hey, Johnie Hooker back again. So I just got up. It's early morning. I've got up a bit earlier and preheated my oven. And here's what the dough looks like now. Now, under here, or the lid, whatever lid you put on, is going to get moisture on it. So just be aware of that. I like the moisture there, so I don't wipe it off. I put it back on the top. So that's what the bread looks like now, swelled up. It's not a big fluffy loaf like normal sourdough and white bread. So the next thing is I just use a Stanley knife, any sharp knife. I just cut some slits in it. You can do it any way you like, whatever suits you. You won't be able to see it, but you might have seen what I've done. Or you can do a couple like that, or crisscross it, or whatever you want. And then I'll put this on. Chuck it in there. I'll take the lid off in half an hour, and then when it's finished, I'll come back to you. See you soon. Hey, okay, we're back an hour after chucking it in. I took the lid off half an hour ago. So now let's check it out. Turn the oven off. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what it looks like. Every time, pretty much, I haven't had a problem. It's a pretty foolproof way of making awesome bread. Hopefully it comes out, I've never had a problem. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. So I wouldn't go cutting into that right away. Sounds hello. Yeah, I wouldn't go cutting into that right away. I've got to cut it for lunch because I've got no more left. And that's all I eat pretty much. I've got a few other breads I eat, which I'll show you. So I'll cut into that just before I have to go to work in about 45 minutes. And then I just wrap it in tea towel. And don't put it in a plastic container, even when it's cold, because it's still alive and it sweats in plastic containers and stuff. You could put it in a tin bread thing, that gets air and stuff. But I just wrap it in a tea towel because I haven't got a tin one. I might look for one actually because that'd be good. Yeah, so I hope you find this video interesting and you adopt this, because these ingredients have actually been scientifically proven to have the best protein that the body needs and everything else the body needs. So I don't eat, now and again I'll be naughty and eat a piece of fruit or something like that, but generally I just eat these ingredients and a few other breads like whole rye and stuff like that, just to break it up a bit. But you can live on it, and like I never get sick or anything, so I've got no joint pains or anything like that, so it's fine to live on. I've worked for doctors and stuff, and they've all said, oh, where do you get your protein, where do you get your vitamin C, where do you get this? I'm like, I don't know, who needs all that? I just eat what I eat and I'm fine. And they're all getting colds and flus, and I never get any of that stuff. So yeah, hope you like the video. Thanks.